So this is going to be the first time in a while where the gameplay isn't actually live in the video. And honestly, it's probably for the best, but I don't know, it's being buggy right now. Anyway, what I want to talk about is not actually probably as negative as the title makes it seem, but I don't know if there are any longtime viewers of this channel still, but if you look, you might notice that there are a lot less videos than there were before. And that's because I mainly privated or unlisted all the videos that I just really don't like. And I'll tell you what, like, if you really want to see a video and it's private rather than just unlisted, if it's unlisted, you could just go in the playlist and look at it. But if it's privated, I could give you access to it. But really, I kind of want to make this video as an explanation for why, and I want to go through all the reasons why I've started to really resent this channel. And I'm going to start with probably the most obvious one, which is my videos are very low effort. And that was kind of the point. It was meant to be an aesthetic where it's low effort. But at the same time, it kind of gives people leverage to just be like, your videos are shit, they suck, and I can't really argue against that because I know. But I feel like if all the time that I spent on this channel, I had spent trying to make something higher quality, then I probably would have learned more skills with the time that I essentially in some ways wasted on this channel. But that isn't really that big of an issue because, as I said, it was kind of an intentional design. So I'm going to move on to the second reason, which is that my most unique and most interesting videos on this channel were really only relevant during the time that they were uploaded. And then it kind of just became irrelevant maybe a week later. And once again, I don't know how many videos like that are still up on my channel, but it was whenever I was going through something that was like actually kind of crazy. And it's like by the time that you watch the video, the situation is mostly over, but I was making the video as if it was a serious current event. You know, and I don't really mean like the one that I made recently about like the threat that was called in my school, if you can call it that. I don't want to get in trouble for describing the true nature of it, but I don't mean like that. I more mean the old stuff where it's just some really messed up situation that I would talk about. That would basically blow over by the time that I uploaded the video, and then I'm just like, oh shit, I'm trying to keep up, or like I'm trying to keep the audience up on current events in my life, and none of this is current anymore. And the third reason, this is sort of, it can be considered a good thing or a bad thing, but I do not consider myself the same person as when I started this channel. Like, I go back and I watch some of the very first videos, and I'm like, what am I talking about? I mean, of course I can still see that I am the same person, but I think I changed more from the time that I started this channel to now than I did from the entirety of being like 13 to 18. You know, I started this channel right before I turned 18. So that could also be seen as a good thing. You know, maybe this channel and expressing all of the messed up shit that goes on, maybe that actually helped me in some way, and I'll never know. So that one is sort of mixed, but what I want to go on to next is something that genuinely has made me want to just straight up delete this channel without a word, all the videos on it. This is probably the worst one out of all of them, and that is people use this channel against me. They use this channel against me, and they're going to continue to use this channel against me for as long as it exists. So, I don't know if that makes sense already. I don't know if it's gonna make sense. But pretty much what I mean is people will get into arguments with me and use this channel as an insult, or I guess an ad hominem, if you're talking about arguing and then just insulting people. Just like, oh yeah, well, you make those shitty videos, stupid ass. No, it's not like that. It's genuinely serious jabs at me. And this has included, you know, of course, people I talk about who are complete assholes, but even people I called friends and people I still do call friends, they use this as leverage against me when they're mad at me. They will use this channel as leverage against me. It's happened with a lot of people. It's really annoying. And it makes me wonder if I should just once again delete the channel, leave without a trace, which I've ultimately decided I'm not going to do. which I am not going to do. Since I'm talking about it here, that means that I'm not going to do it. But that is the closest I've been. That was sort of what I was thinking about when I started unlisting all the videos. Because even though people use the channel itself against me, I'm like, what if someone I really just don't like sees one of the videos that I don't really want to have up, and then they try to use that as leverage against me? So that's a difficult one. You know what? Let me know what you think of that in the comments. I don't even know. It seems weird. I don't know if anybody else really goes through that. Just people like using a YouTube channel that they made against them in any situation. It just seems very weird. So the fifth reason is that this channel had a very weird bouncing in between feeling too successful and not successful enough. And what I mean by that is, pretty much I kind of created this as a journal type of channel. I've said that before. It was more just meant to, it was a journal, but people could give feedback on it, anonymously through the internet, like we're all trying to do, just be anonymous through the internet and say whatever we want. But that was sort of the intention of it, and a lot of the videos blew up pretty well, and I'm like, okay, so this is where it's going now, Now a lot of people are hearing what I'm going to say, and they actually like what I have to say, so I'm going to keep doing it. But then near the end of 2020, sort of when I stopped uploading as much for a few months, it stagnated. I still have basically the same subscribers as I did then. I think it's gone up by 30 since then. And it never really got big enough to a point where I could confidently say, like, okay, this is a big accomplishment having this channel. Now my gaming channel, which that one is actually good. It's actually good content, has surpassed this one. And I'm like, well, do I have anything to show for this? I don't know. It's kind of debatable. So, yeah. And speaking of my other channel, I still sometimes feel like all the time that I spent on this channel was a huge waste, and I'm still doing it right now, but, I wanted to make this video ever since I privated and unlisted a bunch of videos, which was a couple weeks ago, but I had just gotten my wisdom teeth removed, so I wasn't really in a position to do that. Anyway. So, yeah, getting into the final reason, similar to what I just said, I feel like I prioritize this channel over my other channels, and you could also say I prioritized it over school in some cases, but I more think of that as a general thing, prioritizing YouTube over school, rather than this particular channel, if that makes sense. So, pretty much, at the time that I started this channel, and really for the first year that I used this channel, I had a music channel, which I was making low quality documentaries on, and I made this channel while trying to take a break from that, which is something that I've said in one video before. Like, even though the music documentaries were fairly low effort, I was like, this is too much work to get like 200 views, 300 views, which is still a pretty good amount. So I made this channel and I'm like, wow, people are blowing up doing low effort commentary. Again, it came back. And that was kind of something that I always was interested in, even as a kid, just being a commentary channel that's like this, that benefits off of being mostly unedited and uncensored. So I thought that would be a good idea. I sort of ditched those documentaries and... Sorry, I don't know what that sound was. Anyway, I sort of ditched those documentaries for a while. And then a few months after creating this channel, I started my gaming channel, which at first was random games. Like, I made a video that did okay, got a couple hundred views, where I went into the video game Watch Dogs, which was big in like 2013, 2014. And I went to the multiplayer of that, which people still played. And, it was doing okay, got a couple hundred views. And then I started speedrunning Call of Duty games on there. Sorry. And that got a few hundred views per video as well, usually. But, no long-time viewers. But this channel was always my favorite. even though I knew that it was kind of destined to be a dead end, unless I got really lucky, like the other people who had done the same thing right around the time that I had, albeit maybe a couple months before. So I prioritized this channel over those ones which were already successful because I didn't want to put the work into those channels as much. And then with my gaming channel, I was about ready to just give up on that, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like I have a cool idea for a video. I pitched it to like a Reddit group, and then they're like, hell yeah, I'd watch that. So then I made it. It did well, and I went from there. And with that type of success, I'm like looking back on this channel and thinking, was this really necessary for me to say shit that personal just to get a very mild amount of success? And with all of that, this video was low effort, and it's probably not going to be relevant soon, and I'm probably going to be completely different when I go back and look at this in a couple of years, and people are going to use this video against me like they used my whole channel against me. And it's probably not going to be successful enough, and I'm prioritizing this over writing the script for my newest gaming video. I'm doing it all again, and this isn't really quitting this channel, by the way. I want to make this clear. I'm not trying to say that I'm quitting the channel right now, but I do want to take a step back like I've been doing, and I only want to really upload when something interesting and something of substance happens again, like another threat gets called, or I don't know, I start dating another insane person or something like that, or I drop out of school, which I don't want to do actually, or no, I don't know. Just something interesting, because majority of my videos aren't that interesting. And as I said, going back to this, if there's a video that you remember and actually liked and you can't find it in the playlist, just shoot me a message and I'll give you access. Anyway, peace. I don't really know what I was thinking with this video or any of my videos, but goodbye.